I'm back, baby. We got to talk about these markets. We got to talk about this bullish breakout. We got to talk about levels. We got to talk about some coin picks. I just got back from an incredible crypto conference in Brussels with some of the most alpha I've been around, and I can't even tell you how long. If you are ready to get into it, everybody throw a 1 in chat. If you're watching on Twitter, if you're watching on YouTube, wherever you're at, I hope you just find some gratitude for the day. Remember to hug your loved ones. Tell everybody that you care about them. This weekend showed us that things can change in an instant. I love you all. I appreciate you all. Let's get into these markets. We got to talk about what's going on. Let's get into it. What's up, everybody? I don't know where my camera is at. Let's get my camera back on. Let's get into it. We got to talk about these markets. I don't know where my camera is. Some should be popping back up. What the heck is going on? I don't know, but we're going to be diving in to what is going on in this market right here. Bam. We got some wonderful, wonderful moves coming up. I'm trying to sort my camera out as we do this, but the price action is hitting those levels that we talked about. It's breaking through them. It is looking like it is trying to push up. It's looking like it's ready for that reversal, not only reversal, but a continuation to the upside. This is specifically what we're looking for. What the heck is going on with my camera? I do not know. Give me 1 second. Video source, cam link, 4K. Boom. I don't know. Give me 1 second. God damn it. All right. Markets are too exciting. For some reason, the video is cutting in and out. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. You know what? Screw it. We're doing the HD FaceTime camera. Boom. You can see me right here. I don't know what's going on with the Camlink 4K. It's all good. How you guys doing? How's everybody feeling? I got to look right here apparently because I'm looking at my computer camera instead of the Camlink. I don't know why it's not working, but shout out to everybody that's here. We got to talk about what's going on in this market right in here. I mean, this is feeling good. When we come over to this chart right here, this page right here on CoinMarketCap, we're back up over 2.3 trillion. We're seeing some beautiful movement over the last few days. 12% up, 12% up. Look at this, 13%, almost 11%, 23% for XRP. Shout out to my XRP holders out there that held through all of this craziness. No video. I meant sound. Wait, can you not hear me? Check, 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 check. Check, check. Let me see. Check, check, check. God damn it. Check. You guys should be able to hear me. Throw a 1 in chat if you can see me and if you can hear me. I'll wait a couple seconds as this is... I don't know what the frick is going on. Audio is cutting out. All right. Well, hold on a second. Let me go ahead and output settings. I'm trying to stream to YouTube and to Twitter, but apparently there's not enough frickin' bandwidth to do that. So let's go ahead and figure this out together. All good. So Alexander G says all good, and other people are saying audio's cutting out. You guys let me know. Let me know. Come on. I'm going to go ahead and delete this one right here. Boom. You cannot delete a destination while it's being used. Okay. I was trying to delete. You can hear me? Awesome. Well, here we go. Let's continue on here. I just want to make sure all the audio visual is good. I am using my MacBook camera instead of my other one. For some reason, the cam link is not working, which is all good because it's all about the charts anyway. Again, look at this beautiful price action that we're seeing. Look at this MOG. Stacks, I just actually moved into. I made some pretty big additions to the altcoin portfolio. I'm going to be updating you all on later on. But Stacks, I've moved up. I think I almost doubled my position in that yesterday, just before this actually absolutely broke out to the upside. If we see Stacks, actually, I have it down here somewhere. Let's see, STX Stacks, Binance, boom. That's not, well, this isn't the chart I wanted to use, but it's okay. We could see right in here, this sort of, this trend line. This is where I got in yesterday, right here about noon, because price action was pushing up. Bitcoin was looking good. Money flow is looking like it's kind of inching back up here on the 6 hour. We're seeing just positive movement on this. It's still cutting out on my end. All right. Well, you know what? I don't know what to tell you. Because I have incredible uplink. Let's see if I can change my details. I can't change it while it's live. Still cutting out. Are you on YouTube or are you on Twitter? The stream is bitrate is lower than recommended. Open widget warning. Okay. There's nothing I can do. It says connection good. Perfect for me, says Ethan Smith. So I would say back it up just a little bit and let's see. Yeah, it's looking good on my end. So I'm just going to continue on. Stacks right here, that Bitcoin. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Okay. I don't know how to adjust this while I'm live. No issues on my end. Okay, let's boom. Video. Let's see. I'm going to try and slow down the recording stream. Give me 1 second. I'm just trying to make this better for you all. Sounds good on my end. Might have to restart YouTube if you're having issues. Yeah, so shout out everybody if you're having any issues. Restart. All good. The Gray family. All right, let's continue on this. I want to talk about what's going on here. Let's exit out of this settings menu. All right, so look at this. This is Stacks is pushing right up into a level that we've had identified all the way since back here, April 1st. Look at this, coming right up into this zone. So this is going to be a little bit, I don't want to say make or break, but we may don't have a heart attack if the price action on this, especially if we come down to like the 4 hour, if the price action has a little bit of a rejection here, somewhere into this zone, 175, maybe even down to 168 zone test here, and then continuation to the upside. But as it stands right now, as we just saw with all of these other coins, VeChain up 38%, Maker, they just had huge news about a huge buy that they just did for treasuries, up 33%. ICP, I was at the ETHCC conference in Brussels all last week. I actually intended to stream daily. It was just kind of not possible with where my stuff was in relationship to the conference, and there was just nonstop side events for networking and alpha, download, etc. I went to specifically the ICP side event. They've got some incredible things they're working on. BitTensor up 32% in the last 7 days as well. Mantra, Pendle. I mean, the markets are feeling good. So what is this about? What is going on here? Let me go ahead and pull my camera back up now that we don't have, boom, let's go this. There we go. Boom. So I got to look right in here because now we're doing it on my MacBook camera. Let's go ahead and zoom in on this, make this nice and sexy. There we go. So we got to talk about what's happening right now because the market, it has that reversal that we talked about last week. In fact, we called this perfectly here, and that is this. If we come right here to live and you look at this chart right here, all right, not chart, this stream, this is last Monday, actually 2 Mondays ago. I talked about the double trap 13 days ago. Let's look at what we're talking about and how we call this and if that played out. So let's do a little bit of fact checking here on myself to make sure I'm giving you guys positive alpha. So 13 days back would be right here. If I press shift, click on the chart, let's actually go like this. There we go. If I click on the chart right here, press shift and move my mouse back like this, let's see, 11 days, 12 days, 13 days. So 13 days ago is when we at 13, 14, somewhere in there. So roughly about that time frame. This is what I was talking about. This breakout to the upside. I was identifying that it was likely going to be a trap to the upside, a trap to the downside, and then resolution. What do we got? We got the trap to the upside, I mean, pretty strong trap to the downside with it. Look at this wick all the way down. Where to? Directly onto this trend line that we've had identified since all the way back here on Saturday, October 14th. If we look at this on a linear scale, I want you to notice something. This is basically finding support here, projected out. And similarly, if we're looking at this on logarithmic, man, this is just hit beautifully within the zones that we have identified. And so we got to talk about what's going on because there's so much right now on the political sphere. And I don't care to be a political channel, but we got to talk about the impact and what's going on in the crypto ecosystem because we saw the massive news. I woke up, remember, it's 6 hours ahead. 6 hours ahead in Brussels. So at 6 or 7 p.m. when it happened here, it was midnight or 1 a.m. in Brussels. I was not sitting there looking at Twitter. I was not, navigating the news cycle. I woke up and I was like, what happened? But we're going to get to that in just 1 second because we saw the markets dip and then sell off and then break very sharp V-shaped recovery to the upside on the positive news that President Trump was all right. Now, but this is something I shared last week, July 10th. July 10th, I shared this, and that is right here looking at all of this data. I said, look, crypto reality check, public service announcements for those being short-sighted or worried. There has never been a worse time to sell crypto assets. This is not financial advice. Why? Consider these 6 facts. The 4-ish, which is the 4-ish Bitcoin market cycle that's tied to the halving, that's tied to the global liquidity cycle, suggests expansion phase of bull market hasn't even started, meaning that parabolic run to the upside. Bitcoin has exponential capital channels right now. All these ETFs and institutions and all this chatter from the biggest players in financial history speaking positively about what's going on in the crypto sphere. In addition to that, we see real institutional appetite shown in Q1. All these institutions, over nearly 1,000 buying in Q1 of the Bitcoin spot ETF, breaking records we've never seen in any financial asset in history in under 900 days. It was like 140 or 170 days. I can't remember the exact number of how fast these ETFs, not one, but 2 of the Bitcoin spot ETFs reached metrics that previously the record was somewhere near 1,000 days. Plus, massive behind-the-scenes institutional development. This is not talking about the buying, but this is behind-the-scenes development, institutional development to integrate and deploy in the blockchain ecosystem. Alt market benefits also. Bitcoin adoption is outpacing, meaning going faster, than internet adoption, meaning we're going to have continued and sustained pressure driving more and more usage on network, suggesting 1 billion users, which is a 10x from here in the coming few years. The benefit of the exponential devaluation of fiat currencies globally, that is a benefit to Bitcoin. It sucks for anybody that's not participating in this ecosystem like they should, if they have not become aware yet. But for those of you that are ahead of the curve, you get to benefit. You get to benefit from this money printing because it's only going to drive up the value and drive up the true intrinsic nature that Bitcoin was really even created for. Also, every dip is an opportunity for strong assets in this ecosystem. Patience is the only real payment you need to make here. So, what was this chart referencing here? Permanent holders, mostly custodial wallets with no outflows, accumulated 85,000 Bitcoin in the past 30 days. This was about 5 days ago. These wallets are not ETFs. They're not exchanges. They're not miners. During the same period, 16,000 Bitcoin flowed out of ETF holdings. So we're seeing the accumulation addresses. This is the most beautiful thing about Bitcoin and on-chain data is that we can see, we can identify what type of wallets are doing what. The type of wallets that once assets are deployed into them or stored into them, I should say, that it almost never moves. These are accumulation addresses. So what do we see? When we look at this massive spike right here at the previous all-time high, and then a dip and another massive spike. Now, this spike is one of the most bullish spikes you'll ever see, which is coins being absolutely aped into wallets that hold for a long period of time. This is creating strength in the market. So when we move on to this, we also see further moves toward positively for Trump. Judge Cannon dismisses classified document case against Trump. We also just saw recently, this is so weird having the different camera on right now. We also just saw recently that, the massive news stories over the last 6 months, really, regarding Trump. And whether or not you like Trump or not, you have to realize if you're involved in this digital asset ecosystem, there's some things that you need to be somewhat more agnostic on. And that's also being aware of how different members of large political parties, especially in one of the most pivotal elections in history, what their stance is on crypto. And Bitcoin is becoming only more and more pro-Bitcoin. And so, Trump is becoming only more and more pro-Bitcoin. So when we see stuff like this, it's also further strengthening his case. I mean, it's just nonstop right now. And we also, let's get down to a little bit of the TA. Let's get down to a little bit of the data. We're going to be diving into the charts here in a few minutes. And that is this right here. Let me actually come right here. I don't know if I am. Let me go to BitLab Academy. By the way, make sure you're following at Academy BitLab if you're not yet. Is this not? I guess it's not. Yeah, I don't think it's live streaming. Okay. This is the first time I tried to also live stream on Twitter, so if it's not live streaming, that's all good. Everybody throw a 1 in chat if you can see me and hear me all right. I'm still a little, I don't know why the camera wasn't working, but I'm glad we got the secondary camera up. But when we're looking at the TA here, we can see we've been on a 38-day downtrend, and we have a breakout. It's freaking so good to have this breakout, but we can't bank the entire our entire future on doing a 100x long right here in this moment that this breaks out, because we still have stand to reason that we have the need for the testing of the bulls of coming down to some bit. And we're going to show you some data on this in just a moment. But this is incredible. This is the start. When you start seeing the foundation of something big, something in terms of a reversal, this would be the start of it. It doesn't mean it's fully there, but this is the start of it. And when we continue on, we can also see this consolidation that we have here. Now, I have mine drawn a little bit differently. Mine is a little bit at an angle to the downside. So you could say that we haven't even broken out of this consolidation to the downside. We've only tested it once, twice, 3 times later. But then we get the higher low, and then it basically a breakout to the upside. And where did this initially stop? Look, right here, testing the lows of this range, this bar that we've had identified for some many months. This candle, stop here. It pushed up into it. Bears brought it down just a touch, only to have this push up a little bit further. And now continuing up. Now we're getting into a little bit of a pivotal zone. And I'm going to show you why here in just a moment. So we're looking at this. We had this, if we're looking at it in this sort of nature, very similar to this sort of Wyckoff reaccumulation. Reaccumulation means a push up and this sort of sell-off chop that is meant to shake your ass out. And if we go back to what I said right here, this has never been a worse time to sell your crypto assets. Do not get shaken out here because you're seeing this little bit of a scary dip. This is a buying opportunity. This is not, hey, I'm going to sell because I'm scared. I don't care if you bought here, or down here. This is an opportunity before we have some incredible price action to the upside. Now, continuing on here, what do we see? We see this, look, phase C, boom, right in here, V-shaped recovery. We have not fully actualized this yet. We've only had the move up into this. We have not established a new high. There's a high likelihood we do get a little bit of a sell-off here. And the question is going to be to what degree? So when we look further, we can see, remember that first chart I showed you over here, with all these accumulation addresses buying. Well, we can also see that the U.S. whales and institutional Bitcoin purchases increasing again. Looking at the Coinbase premium gap, the movement of U.S. whales, which had a selling trend, has recently become buy, meaning the smart money, the bigger money, the institutional money is saying, let's stack in, fellas. Let's stack in. The question is right now, we got 48 people in the room. I hope everybody, every single one, we got 30 likes. So everybody, thank you for hitting that like button, showing some love, letting YouTube know you like this content. Now, looking on to this next chart right here. This is further exemplification of those whales. While you were scared, whales just bought $4.3 billion worth of Bitcoin. It's dropping. What does smart money do? They buy when everybody's fearful. If you cannot master that to some capacity, you're going to like exponentially limit your ability for upside in this market. Similarly, I've talked about this before. If we actually, let me come over here. I'll show you a free tool. Look into bitcoin.com. Free website. You can get a ton of on-chain charts here for free. Now, if we come here, I want to do short-term holder realized price. We can notice here, short-term holder realized price is an incredible metric of the strength of a trend. Once we break north of it or up above it, look at this, break above, support, until this final separation, and then the breakdown, rejection. And then what we get, we break above, we just get this one little blip here. This was a sort of an anomalous market cycle. But then look, break above, support, break below, rejection. And what are we seeing again here? Now we're getting a lot of other capital flows that can push the price around this cycle. This is why we've seen, when we look, I think it's this chart right here, we saw this little deviation below, but we held support on this horizontal level, key horizontal level. So this was a little bit scary, rightfully so. And then we break back up. Look at this, rejection at it. And then boom, push up, support, another deviation below. The question's going to be, as the price action does push up, this is going to be a pivotal moment for many different reasons we have to look at. $64,000, $65,000 region is going to be so very important as to what's going on in this market. And we've got to pay attention to it, because when we look at this on the chart, what do we have marked out? We have 65,000. Now this is right in the middle of the zone. So let's see the bottom side. Okay, 64.5 up to about 65.6. Okay, well, how does this line up with the other data that we pay attention to when we're trying to figure out where the liquidity interest is in this market? Well, look at these levels. Look at this. We are sandwiched between so much liquidity that is so ripe to absolutely shake you out if you do not understand what's going, which is why, coming back to that first tweet that I did 5 days ago, look at this. Those being short-sighted or worried, there has never been a worse time to sell crypto assets. And we can see this also right in here. This is ripe. This is people being hopeful and fearful at the same time. When we are at one of the most beautiful portions in a market cycle that we've ever seen, if we zoom out on this on the daily, we can see we're just in a massive macro bull flag, or we're just in a massive macro cup and handle, or we're just in a massive reaccumulation zone where at the previous all-time high. How is that similar? Looking at the previous cycle, previous all-time high, zoomed in here, look at this reaccumulation zone. What happened post reaccumulation zone? If we press the measuring tool, come right here up to the top, I'm measuring that. That was still 269% to the upside. So what is 206? This is just, obviously, this is not going to be exact. Let's go ahead and take a measuring tool, price range, zoom out, 269%. Okay, let's see. That's only 127. What's 269? 269. Let's do 250 to be conservative. $210,000. That's if we're looking at the similar expansion post reaccumulation. Well, what does it look like if we take a measurement from the neckline down to the base of the cup and handle? Well, this would suggest price action up here in the $250,000, $260,000 range. Okay, well then what do you do? Let's do two measurements on this bull flag right here. We'll do a very conservative one right here. This would measure, let's see, the breakout here suggests a zone 132. If we do just, the most macro that we can do just because we want to be super bullish, this would suggest a ridiculous target of all the way also up here at 203,000. So the point being here, if you're doing TA on the charts, there is not an exact number. Every analyst I talk to has a slightly different variation on what they're measuring. But when you look at this and you see previous expansion, let's do 269, just like the last one showed. Look at that. This goes almost right to one of these targets, but we have a target here, 132. We have a target here at 206, and we have a target. This is kind of a region, so we'll do that. And then we have the target up here. The point being is the price can do any of these things, but you need to stop looking at all of this. You see what I did there? Everybody wants to look at where these targets can go. Stop blinding yourself of just looking at the hopium and the chart. Ignore this nonsense. Yes, we can draw a conclusion about where something could go. Let's actually do one more somewhat supporting hopium. We're going to go from the top there, Fibonacci. Let's look at a Fib extension, 3.618. 3.618. Look at where that's at. So the 3.618 is also, look at this, exactly on this target, 205,000. So there's a lot of supporting evidence that we can do all this stuff to the upside. But what we need to be more concerned about is what is your plan moving forward? What's your idea about your time horizon in this market? What's your conviction level? What are you doing to support your strategy and remove emotions from it? Now, this gives a lot of hope looking at all these levels that we can still go to, but there's a lot of work to be done. There's nothing that says we can't have something that happens that this actually rotates, comes down here in the $38,000 to $45,000 region. I don't think that's going to happen, but I'm prepared if it does. So coming back over to some of these charts we're talking about, yes, institutions are buying. Yes, we have all of these data points I just went through on my, I posted this on my Twitter about 5 days ago. So many bullish things. But what else is to come here? Well, we have, yes, bullishness, but we still have in the short time frame this gap that just opened because the market moved over the weekend. This is what you all need to realize when we're looking at the price structure and we're looking at what's happening in the market. Everybody wants the market to go up during the weekend. I'd rather the market crashed during the weekend. That gives us a gap above us that can pull on a liquidity basis, can pull us back up into it. Now, this does not mean this has to fill, but more often than not, these gaps fill. So what does that look like on the chart? Coming back over here, let's look at what is going on. So we have the gap. We have the gap. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. The gap looks like it was 60 to 58,000. Okay, 60 to 58,000. Oops, there we go. So basically, testing this region, maybe potentially coming back down. Now, it's going to be interesting to me on many levels if the price action does rotate and come back down and flush into this zone, because we'll be taking out these interest zones right here where this rejects, see this rejects. We'd have to be very cognizant of our emotions in this, because this is going to scare a lot of people, especially if this comes back down to this line. There's a very, very much so a possibility of that happening. I think, however, it's more likely that we come down and kind of flush into this 59s, into this region, kind of stop right here just above that. But we're gonna have to see. But we just have to be aware that all the bullishness we're seeing and how far it's going to go in the long term blinds people of understanding that when we see all this bullishness, and we do see that there's an indication in the short-term time frame, meaning over the course of this week, maybe into next week, that we potentially get this move down. Now, what did I say, everybody? Let me see if I can find it. Kelly Kellum. I'm not going to be able to find it. I just don't want to scroll back on my timeline. On my timeline, I posted July 12th on Twitter. That was it. I just posted July 12th. Just because I had a feeling around the middle of July there is going to be some explosive price action. So July 12th is right here. Look at this, the bottom of this move right here, and the explosion started right after. No, I'm not saying I'm Nostradamus or anything like that. I just had a feeling because of so many different things on the horizon with the ETH ETF and with Trump regarding the RNC, also talking about, the Bitcoin conference coming up. We had the massive options expiry at the end of last quarter. It felt like around July 12th to 15th, we'd see some explosive price action, and this is what we are seeing. It's not because I'm Nostradamus. Again, it's because I'm looking at the swings in the data that's present in my analysis that gives me indication about what's going on. We can never be perfect. All we can do is stack ourselves into probability. So yes, we see the gap, but what else do we see? We got a couple more things. We also see, look, Bitcoin, people speaking at the Bitcoin conference 2024. By the way, how many of you are going to be at the Bitcoin conference? Let me know if you are going to be there. I'd love to organize a little bit of a BitLab meetup along with the Discover Crypto crew and Blockchain Basement. We want to get together with all of you guys, but let's look at this. I don't want to say I don't care. The names here it's inconsequential, right? But what is it? What aspects can you draw from this? Michael Saylor, okay, massive in the crypto community. Donald Trump, previous president, as well as probably the number one contender in this election cycle. Russell Brand, famous comedian and podcast host. Kathy Wood, major in the just traditional finance as well as crypto ecosystem. Robert F. Kennedy, another presidential contender and legacy a politician. Edward Snowden, are you kidding me? Vivek Ramaswamy, another person that was in the race for presidency. Anthony Scaramucci, somebody that is in the administration, for the government. And then, of course, the Altcoin Daily Brothers. Shout out to Aaron and Austin. Great guys. But there's just so much bullishness in terms of the participation in this ecosystem from outside players. This is what we need to be aware of. By the way, I do want to say, shout out to a new channel sponsor right here, CoinW. You can see in that link or on the very bottom, your bottom right corner of the stream right here. You can see this, boom, blinking. There is a new channel partner. We are setting up basically active trading live sessions. And it's going to be free. The only caveat is going to be just sign up with the link. The link is in the pinned comments at the top. There's up to $30,500 in bonuses. And I'm going to make it my mission to make sure that you all, because I teach you all TA on a regular basis. If you're in BitLab Academy, I talk about all these trades and setups and how to actively do this. But we want to get some live sessions with what's going on right now in the market, show you setups, trade together. The only thing you got to do to participate in that is click on that link that's in the top of the pinned comments. It's also down below in the description. If you scroll down right in here, let's see, boom. If you scroll down, let me mute this real quick. Right here, you see trade with CoinW here, 30,000 in bonuses. Click on that link. You are absolutely helping support the channel. I'd love to see, and if you guys have other exchanges, that's fine. I recommend everybody have a few exchanges. You do not want all your capital on one exchange. We all saw what happened with FTX. Make sure you diversify. I'd love for you to set up an account there with CoinW. It's a great way to not only help support this channel, but get involved in our live trading sessions. I'm going to be starting with $2,000 in there. We are going to turn that into so much money together. None of this is financial advice. This is entertainment and strategy, breaking things down and how I see them. And hopefully you guys can ride along the way with us there. Now, continuing on with where we're at right here, we got a couple more things. One of those selling pressures is the miners. We're seeing, look at this, starting to edge back up. Is the miner capitulating, starting to end? This would be absolutely bullish for Bitcoin. And then again, where are we at right now? Look at 2017, and I've been saying for 6 months or more that we are seeing signs in the market that this is a lot more similar to 2017 than it is to the last cycle for a number of reasons. And if we look at this as an analog, let's look at this little mini parabola, large parabola that has a retest and then the launch. What do we got? Boom, test, boom, test. We are coming into that third phase right now, which is absolutely the most bullish part of the market. Now, how is it going to go? I don't know. We got to do this together. We're going to do this on a daily basis. If you are watching right now and you're not following, if you're watching right now and down below it does not say subscribed, if it does not have this little all, click that all, get notified about our streams here, hit that like button, show some love. Let's continue on. Now, we also have Chinese banks investing huge money in Hong Kong's Bitcoin and crypto companies. This is incredibly bullish, especially with some of the whispers around the market that around the end of Q3, maybe Q4, they're going to be quite a bit, the CCP is going to be quite a bit more supportive and proactive for their citizenry to participate in the crypto markets, which is going to be huge. We saw Bybit, I think it was Bybit, about 2 months ago, just had some, what do you call it? Regulatory approval or licenses for basically exchange. So there's some obviously things getting prepared for here. And this is big because the number one thing we need in this market in order to see price go up is global liquidity. And if we look at this right here, we can see this is effectively, at least in the short term, has bottomed and is starting to inch up. And the markets, we are not even prepared for what's to come, everybody. The markets... The probability that the markets are going to explode so much higher is in the best position. It's the best asymmetric risk opportunity we've ever seen in this market, ever. Now, is the price much higher than it was 10 years ago? Yes. But 10 years ago, it was so much more of a risk. Nobody had any idea what the regulatory clarity was or wasn't going to be, as well as the adoption and how quick it would or wouldn't happen. Now it's established. Now we got BlackRock, Fidelity, we got Grayscale, Ark Invest, Bitwise, VanEck, Valkyrie, Invesco, Franklin Templeton. Guys, do you see this? Look at these holdings. BlackRock, this launched this year. The Bitcoin spot ETFs, and BlackRock already has 316,000 Bitcoin. Grayscale, huge rotation out of Grayscale, but they still hold 273,000, and they're back to positive numbers generally. Fidelity's 176,000 Bitcoin. Ark Invest 47,000. We're seeing. Remember last week when we had this negative sort of play? Well, look at this. We are in an uptrend now for the positive inflows for Bitcoin spot ETFs, and we have the ETH spot ETF likely happening this week. Guys, are you not, if you're bullish on this market over the next year, hit the like button, show some love to your portfolio by supporting crypto content like this, because we are coming into that pivotal moment, 64,000. Remember, we've got this right below us, 60,000, 65,000. The next level up here at about, let's see, copy, paste, up here at about 74,000, with the caveat of there's going to be a bit of a hiccup, a little bit of a pause likely at 70,000 because of this descending trend line. But we've got all these things lined up. We just need to get the price action needs to get above the short-term holder cost basis and needs to get above, look at this, 63 to 64. What's that level we had? 65,000. If we were to zoom out on this, where's the next level? Look, just short of 70,000. Where's the level after that? Look, 75,000. Holy moly. And I did not draw these on the chart based on the liquidation levels. We're doing this on the basically horizontal and diagonal support and resistance. And we look for a correlation between other data that may support or deny that fact. So we are lining up beautifully with what's going on here. We're lining up beautifully with the sentiment, what's going on in the market. We have still negative. Let me go ahead and refresh this just in case. We have a negative premium still. This is actually good. Why is this good? Because this means people are going short. They don't believe it, which means we can liquidate and have, basically forced buying pressure to the upside. We don't want to see this. See how this pushes up right when it gets to a local top? Everybody goes long and then it reverses. This is actually good. We're pushing up and people are still going short. This is what we want to see, baby. Now, I do want to say before, we're going to do a little bit more TA. We're going to look at some altcoins. We're going to look at some additions I have. I'm going to give you a sneak peek at some of the things I'm doing in the portfolio, but I'm going to save the most of that for the BitLab family, the members. But I do want to shout out our channel sponsors, Arculus, powered by Arculus, the best crypto cold storage solution out there. Make sure you protect your crypto. Make sure you protect your future. It's multi-factor authentication. You have the card, you have your phone, you have your biometrics. Once basically you just tap the card to the back of your phone, biometrically scans your face. You put in your PIN. Super secure. So it doesn't matter if you lose a card, doesn't matter if you lose your phone. You need all those components. But then once you just tap, scan, one tap, after that, swap, trade, store your crypto. Best crypto cold storage solution. Make sure you head over to getarculus.com and use code LAB10, LAB10. Make sure you're protecting your crypto, everybody. I mean it. Now, coming over to what's going on. Oh, I do want to talk. I got to talk about Dagnum, Constellation DAG. They've been doing some really big things. I'm actually doing an interview with them this afternoon, so I might save some of this, but make sure you're following at Dagnum_PI. They are, this is, I think, one of the massively hidden gems within the crypto ecosystem, because if you look at their page, where is it at? Right here. Look at some of their partners. IBM, Simba, which is a massive institution, Helium, AWS, U.S. Air Force. They have Department of Defense contracts. They have been very institutional and government focused in terms of some of the many, many things that they've been building out. And they're now rotating into some basically building out the ecosystem and opportunity for the retail space and enterprise offers. In fact, they have a partnership recently, almost a couple days ago, Panasonic. Massive company. Also with IBM, partner with Constellation Network to debut its DoD vetted blockchain of blockchains in a global hackathon. So that information is over on Dagnum_PI. But I'm telling you, there's going to be some really great things coming out of this. So make sure you're taking a look at that. I'm going to be adding some of this to my portfolio because this is the type of thing I want to see. Near immediate transactions at a nearly free rate. This is what you're going to want to see when big institutions are integrating NFTs, integrating, fast data transfer. For instance, they have a, I don't want to call it a partnership. They have a client service or partnership with the Department of Transportation, massive amounts of data that they could basically mitigate down to very, very, very manageable data bits within their hypergraph. Great stuff. And I'm going to be talking with Dagnum this afternoon at 2 p.m. So keep a lookout for that. And also make sure you're following Stardust Collective, which is part of the Constellation Network. They're going to be basically helping facilitate this hackathon and $100,000 prize giveaway. So much going on there. Now, I think we got some other things that we want to talk about here. Where is it at? Shout out to the crew here. 174 people in the room. Everybody hit the like button. If you want to see some altcoin TA, let's go ahead and break it down, because Ethereum also making some beautiful moves. Shout out in the chat right now. Everybody throw a 1 in chat for Ethan Smith. Ethan Smith, friend and family of the channel here, he called out this massive broadening wedge, which I had not really seen until he said it. And it's good he did, because this massive broadening wedge indicated, I think we drew it over here, about this level right here. Price pushed up. We didn't get past this halfway mark, this trend line that we have. This was signaling rising broadening wedge that we were likely going to have a move to the downside. What did we get? We got the move to the downside. Where to go? Came down, tested right to where all these support and chop levels were. Boom. Now we're at a very pivotal point right now. Let's go ahead and move this out of the way for a moment. We're at a very pivotal point right now, which is this right here. Look at where we're at. We're right at the zone. This is not a bad thing, but we have to be aware that there could be a little bit of a move here that comes and tests back to the downside. Now it's going to be very interesting when the ETH ETF launches, if we get a sell the news event, or if this is just going to push up in here, find support, and then continue based on where we're at in the market cycle and the excitement coming back into it. It's anybody's guess, but we're sitting right here. My whole point is, if you see this start dumping, I would not be looking for a sell opportunity unless you are a 15-minute short seller. We're going to be breaking down a lot of that on the CoinW, basically BitLab live trading sessions. Again, make sure, where's it at? Make sure you go to that link that is down below the video right here. If you click, click more and look at all this, I'm going to put this in here. Boom, trade with CoinW here. I'm going to post this in the live chat. Join there. Just deposit $100. It's your money. We don't want it. I want you. It's just, you need $100 in there so you could trade. You could put more, but join us. It's a great way to support the channel. And we're going to be doing these live trading sessions. So when I talk about buying and selling, I need you all to realize, for the majority of you, you should not be trading. The majority of you should be looking at the longer term play. Now, if you are a trader like I am and like many other people are, there's plenty of buy, sell opportunities. There's a sell opportunity here, buy opportunity, sell opportunity, so on and so forth. But I'm going to start parsing what I'm talking about buy and sells, because on this case right here, there's a potential call if you're, for instance, on, let's say, the 15-minute chart. Let's look at it. 15-minute chart. Okay, so we have a high, a higher high, and that we have a momentum high, lower high. There's an indication here that this may have a bit of a sell-off to the downside. So if you're trading this on a smaller time frame, on the live trading sessions, we're going to be breaking down that this may be a good small time frame short, with the caveat of you need to look at the trend you're in. Now, this is a bull trend, but when we're trading on the 15-minute, then we're going to look at the dominant trend there as being like the 2-hour or the 4-hour, and seeing that we do have a downtrend on this sort of semi-macro, larger time frame than the 15-minute, right? And we are pushing into a zone. If we do start breaking down from here and we do create this M formation, then we can look for a little bit of a short, but it's going to be very quick. We're going to be talking about all of this in those live trading sessions. So again, make sure you head over to that link that I posted in the live. I think I posted it in there. Did I? Yeah, I did. Now, Ethereum's looking good. I mean, it's looking good for where it's at. If we do get another bit of a move to the downside, it'd be a buying opportunity to me for those longer positions. We'd be watching for this to actually start breaking up, not just this zone right here. See this intersection of trend lines? If we push up, this is the next zone. We got to watch that 3,500. And then we're likely going to be moving up quite quickly up to this $4,000 level. Now, when we look at stacks, we talked about that before. Where are we at? Stacks is making some moves. Up here. I'd like to see a bit of a bull flag or a little bit more data. This is on the 6-hour. Let's get down to the 1 hour. So as it stands right now, we do have a little bit of a bull flag. So now let's go ahead and take this measurement. Boom. This measurement, or measuring this flagpole up to this little consolidation zone. The target out of this is up here at 215. That's an additional 15% move. Now, we just got into this. I just added a huge, almost double my position in stacks right here. Where was it? Sunday, it was about 1 o'clock. It was right in the zone because this level was holding. We're kind of pushing into this trend line right here. We see the money flow flip positive, which is this blue wave right here. So I went in. I wanted to get more exposure to stacks, and what happened? Boom, we got the move. Now we're consolidating at this level. Next level, beautiful. If we get a little bit of a retrace, that's fine. I would, somewhere about right here is where I think we would come to. Now let's measure this, option F, from the bottom to the top. Now look at that. So from this level, the 382, which would be a very bullish retrace, is right on the level of this previous high. The next level down from there is, look, right where all these high chop zones are, is this golden pocket. So you could pay attention to these levels, line them up, and see where you're getting a lot of consistency of signal. Now, Tau also making moves. Look at this, inverted head and shoulder. Shoulder, head, shoulder. Okay, let's measure the move. It's looking right now like it wants to potentially, let's see, this is up to 365. So that's, it's not a small move from this breakout. I can't see. Let me shrink this down. That's a 36% move. Now remember, there was a little bit of an issue that they had with, I think it was like a bridge hack or something, which drove the price down. I think BitTensor is an incredible project. It's a parachain on the Polkadot ecosystem. But looking, just coming down, rounding out, getting inverse head and shoulders, telling us it wanted to break out. The money flow flipped positive right here as it's pushed up into this. This was giving you the signal. Now, looking at where we're at right now, where I'd really be looking, look at where the chop is. I'd be looking at this zone right here, option J, 317 as a potential sort of hesitation before maybe coming down just a little bit. Let me see, crypto crank. I'm just trying to see I'm not missing anything. Yeah. But guys, I'm so bullish on the market right now. What else did I want to look at? I want to look at a couple too. SMT, I think I wanted to look at. Look, large inverted head and shoulders, breaks up. It not only broke up, but it cleared this trend line on the first move, came down and found support on it. It's one of those RWA plays. And in so doing, we also have a bit of a bull flag here. So let's pay attention to what's happening on this. There may be, because this kind of had a bit of a fall. Aerodrome also, look at this. Massive V-shaped recovery, higher low, pushing up, a little bit of suppression under this high here, but then finding support on this trend line right here until ultimately right here, boom, option V. What did I mark out? This right here. The money flow flipped strong positive as it was coming up into this zone right here. Money flow said, we want to break through this. What did it do? Boom, pushed up, and now it's looking solid. Polkadot. I went to the decoded, when I was in Brussels, I went to the decoded Polkadot event, which was basically a sub-conference or a conference that happened right after the ETHCC conference. And when I tell you that Polkadot is building some incredibly cool things in their ecosystem. There's so many devs there that were so smart, building so many different use cases within the crypto ecosystem and working together, coordinating together, not having all this competition. I really like what's happening with Polkadot. So when I'm looking at the price action and see that this is in this basically falling wedge, and I just came from a conference where I can see they're actively building into the ecosystem, then I'm looking for, I'm happy that I got some great buys in Polkadot, but this is also showing that we're in a sort of midterm macro bullish falling wedge. And now look at this massive V-shaped recovery. Oops. And we're coming into this previous range high, all this stuff right here. See, low, high, high, and we're testing this right now. If we get a small dip back down, great. If we're able to break clear this and come down and test, and it's off to the races, because I've been making some moves. I got into Solana last week, dropped to about 6,000 something in Solana, but this is maybe it's 7,000. Because I'm up 200 on this since I got in. Stacks, I just added a huge position on. So I can't tell you guys how bullish I am on the BRC20 narrative. Am I a little sad? Things like OrdiSwap, OrdiSwap and Alex Labs, Mint Layer, that these are down. Yeah, it's a little bit of a bummer. If you're focused on the immediate right now, I don't need these to go up right now. The BRC20 narrative is going to push up over time. We could see Matic. We're down, the market's dropped. I was layering all these in February. We had a bit of a drop, but I took this specific altcoin portfolio to share with you all to show you that if you do buy at a macro signal that the altcoin market is setting up for a big run, there's going to be bumps along the way. And if you have a long-term time horizon, you can look at those bumps and also find areas to layer in along the way. I added some to Avalanche as well, down a little bit, but I lowered my average entry a bit. Near Protocol, I think I added some. No, I actually haven't added this lately. Chainlink, I added some, I think 2 weeks ago, down, but I've lowered my average entry. Ondo, I've been letting ride. Now look at this, Aerodrome. I only have about $2,000 with Aerodrome, but I've already taken $8,000 worth of profits and rotated this into some of these. Now remember, this isn't all my portfolios. This is my altcoin portfolio that I've been demonstrating the long-term play and that you can ride things out if you're making smart choices and find opportunities to stack in. Polkadot down 13%. I think I need to add some to this based on what I just saw at the Decoded conference. But that's what I'm seeing, everybody. I am bullish on this market. I'm feeling good. We got some levels above us and below us. Watch for a washout. Do not let yourself get shaken out when we have so much higher to go. Make sure you get Arculus.com. Use code LAB10. Make sure you check into ConstellationNetwork.io. Look at what they're doing and head over to Stardust Collective. On their Twitter and where is it at? Dagnum PI, right here at Dagnum_PI. I'm going to be doing an interview with them. It's going to be live this afternoon, I believe. I got to make sure that they confirmed again. But I just want to bring you guys meaningful things. Some of them that are out of view, some of them that are in the view. The projects that are really building in this ecosystem. Some of them are sponsors. Constellation DAG, they wanted to highlight that they're moving into the enterprise space. But I don't mind making sure that we can pay our rent. I don't mind making sure that we can build out our ecosystem. I don't mind having partners that are building meaningful things in this space. I want to make sure all of you, how much percent are we bullish? I am 100% bullish. In the midterm, short term, I'd say about 35-40% chance that we do get one more washout. But these are all opportunities, everybody. But that's what I'm seeing right now, everybody. I love you. I appreciate you. Make sure you check out CoinW. The link is in the description, pinned at the top. I hope you all have an absolutely wonderful day. I'm back. I'm going to be going after it all week this week. Make sure you check in into the BitLab Discord. Make sure you check in. Guys, I'm going to tell you something right now. Secret, if you're watching. If you look at my YouTube page, look below. Look below. If it does not say subscribed, and if you don't have this on, you're going to miss out on some pivotal content that I'm going to be sharing over the next few weeks that you'll only be able to see if you have your notifications on. So make sure you turn your notifications on. I love you guys. I appreciate you. That's all I got. We're going to head over to the DGen Alpha stream. By the way, I'm doing a members only stream with Taco, talking about some meme coin stuff, talking about some DGen plays, talking about what we need to do there. But we're all going to head to the DGen Alpha page, to the DGen Alpha show right now. So let's go show some love. Let's drop some BitLab coats. Again, my name's Kelly Kellum. Thank you for being here with me. Sorry about the camera issues today. I'm going to get that sorted. I don't know what's going on. That's all I got. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Thank you for always tuning in. Head over to lab.bitlabacademy.com/deal. Learn crypto, learn technical analysis, learn trading. Love you guys. Adios.